Right, so I'm a runner turned triathlete. Back in uh back in 2019, I ran my first 5K, and ever since then I've been hooked. It's kind of silly. I'm one of those stereotypical guys that ran their first 5K and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a marathon," and somehow that worked out. But I wouldn't recommend it. It's really been a long journey for me. I originally got into running as a means of weight loss, but being a fat guy, carrying a lot of extra weight, it does a lot of pain on your joints with all the constant pounding. So I was at my local running store one day, and they said, you really should take up biking or swimming to kind of get your cardio in, not really have so much pressure on your joints. So I went out and I got a gym membership. I'd never lifted weights before, but I noticed they had a pull. And I figured, if I'm doing the weight loss, I need to lift weights. And they've got a pull. This will be easier on my joints than running. So it's kind of where the whole triathlon thing started. As soon as I started swimming, I figured, you know what? Maybe I should buy a bike. And I was able to ride whenever I was young, but I kind of fell off and never really got back into it until recently. I bought my first bike probably right around there, right before COVID hit, and kind of had to reteach myself how to ride. I'm still a very novice cyclist, but it's something that I do enjoy. And all of it originally started out just as a form of weight loss. I just wanted to get rid of the fat. But, through all the trials and tribulations, I found out that I really do enjoy this. And this is really what I want to be doing with my life. So, naturally, I ended up becoming a triathlete. Now I have to try to juggle all three. It's quite the undertaking. You never really get any time off. It's hard trying to balance it all, because you can't just run, you can't just bike or swim. You have to give each of them the attention it deserves. And it's hard. It's a balancing act that requires a lot of dedication. I'm a bit lost right now. So that's kind of how it all started. Had my first 5K on a actual ski resort. I didn't know this when I signed up for it, but the 5K was to run right up the slope, a full mile up just pretty much right up a mountain. And it's basically the Dark Souls of 5Ks. I don't know why I chose that for my first 5K. I just signed up to something random online. And it was brutal. I've never really talked about this. Back years ago, I was really overweight, really miserable, looking to change my life. So I kind of got into running to just find an extra way to burn some calories. And we had a family cat at the time. It's the only time I've really had a pet for myself. It really attached itself to me. It would not leave my side. I'd even be on my computer and it would lay on my keyboard while I was playing. Whatever I was doing, it would follow me around the house. And I remember I was getting into running, and I had one day where I finally decided I was going to just go for a 5K. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to hit the 5K and just see if I can do it. And I did. I was feeling on top of the world. I came home and my mom was at the door to answer me. And she was in tears. That's when they said that my cat had cancer. And that kind of broke me. They were a fighter. They didn't know how long to give them to live. They made it almost a full year at that point. But that whole process really broke me. 'Cause I was miserable and lonely at the time. All I really had was that cat. It was basically by my side all day, every day. And that was right when I was getting into running, and I just really full committed from that point to get my mind off the pain. I was out on the trails pretty much every day. So I really used running as an escape from everything I was going through, just feeling so miserable. And then I started hitting the gym extra hard, 6 or 7 days a week, pushing my body to failure every single day, and just collapsing into bed as soon as I got home. And then COVID hit. And I know I started all this to lose weight, but then it became more of a, I guess kind of dealing with trauma exercise. I didn't really care about losing the weight anymore. I was just trying to escape all the negative feelings I had, and using basically working out to ease my mind. So basically the net result is when the world shut down for COVID, I was working out every day, all day. I wasn't eating well. I was essentially starving myself. And I lost a shit ton of weight. I look back at pictures of myself from back when I ran my first marathon, and it's probably the most in shape I have ever been. But it was not healthy. I didn't go about it the right way. I'm trying to get a lot better at that now. Yeah, I've been stuck with running ever since. It's something that I always hated when I was young. I was always the fat kid. I didn't want to run. I remember in gym class when they made you run the mile, it was like the worst day of the year. And now it's kind of really become the opposite. It's something that I enjoy more than really anything else. And it's hard because I don't have the body of a runner. I'm not thin and lightweight. I'm a big guy. I don't really have the body for it. But you can make a lot work if you put in the dedication and time. So where did my name come from? Back in the day, I was heavily into Final Fantasy XIV. I hated my life so much that I turned to MMOs where you really can't live a second life. And because I poured so much time into it, I ended up becoming really good. Way back in the day, when they first added ultimate fights to the game, they were a challenge beyond anything the game had ever seen. a single boss fight that required 8 players to play perfectly for months to beat one boss. And if you were one of the people that could, you'd get your legend title and special glowing weapon. And this was a very big achievement at the time. There were, if I remember right, a little over 1 million subscribers and maybe 800 legends. So that's like the way less than 1%. It was super rare. And somehow me and my group of friends did it. And I still remember the day we cleared.
Start out.
Just spread them.
Make sure you're second on hate prize. Good job.
Yes!
Yes!
Easy game!
Oh, I'm so happy!
I changed up my rotation, and I was like 1,000 DPS higher.
Let's fucking go!
You blew the fucking doors off, bro. That was 7.4 on my screen. Oh, fucking badass.
That felt so good. Congrats, bro.
Congrats,
You deserve this shit so hard. I'm so happy this finally happened.
Was that a 2-shot? Was that a 2-shot?
It's actually, I know it's silly to say, but I do consider it a major milestone. So there was a meme in the Final Fantasy XIV community where you beat this fight, you get the legend title. There were so few legends. It was quite the sighting if you found one in the game. And anyway, a meme developed where anytime you were in casual content and someone with a legend title would mess up, everyone in chat would spam legend, by the way. How in the world can you do all these amazing things, but then take something that everyone can do easily and mess it up so bad? And you know, I was talking to my friends online in Discord one night, and I told them, you know what, that really applies to my life outside of the game as well. So I really latched onto the legend, by the way, meme. That's why I go by it pretty much everywhere online, because it really does describe my life. I've had so many people tell me, how can you do all these amazing things, but then these things that are just so easy for everyone else, you just mess it up so bad. But you just smile and say legend, by the way. So that's where it all came from. So right now, the white whale that I'm chasing is to become an Ironman triathlete. It's fucking insane. You have to swim at my pace for probably about more than 1.5 hours, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've done any swimming before, you know how insane that sounds. I remember back in the day, whenever I was a Boy Scout, they had a special reward for being able to swim a mile. And it was something that I was like, I could never do that. I've tried to swim maybe 1/10 of that, and I couldn't do it. And the swim for the Ironman is 2.4 miles. It's pretty intimidating. Then you get out of the water, just go for a casual 112-mile bike ride, which it's not even 100 miles, it's 112. You know, nothing serious there. Here's the best part. Get off the bike. You know, let's go for a run. How about 26.2 miles? Full ass marathon. It's actually insane. I believe it starts at something like 8 in the morning and you have until midnight to cross the finish line. It really is the pinnacle of endurance sports. And it's always meant so much to me. Being able to master everything that life throws at you, endure all the hardships. It really all is represented in the Ironman. I don't even know where I am anymore. I haven't been in this trail in forever. So, this is where I'm at. I'm currently training for my third marathon. I've done the Pittsburgh Marathon twice. It is a very hilly course, a lot of elevation, not for the faint of heart. It's basically doing a marathon on hard mode, and it's the only one that I've tried. So this year I was looking to get another one in, seeing what's available around me. And I went with the Columbus Marathon. It's nice and flat. You can go as fast as you want. You don't need to worry about the hills. And it's in October, which means you get to do all your training over the summer, whereas the Pittsburgh Marathon's in May, which means you have to do all your training in the winter through the snow and the cold, which I absolutely hate running outside in the cold. So I think this will be a good change of pace for me. But next year's the big one. I'm signing up for the full Ironman in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been to Chat before. I really like it there. It really is a triathlon town. They have a mix of running and biking trails, a really nice river. And a lot of the community refers to it as the lazy river because it flows in the direction you're supposed to swim, and it really pushes you along while you're swimming. There's a joke that someone took an inflatable pool toy, threw it in the river, and it crossed the finish line in time for the cutoff. So, I've never been a strong swimmer. I'm looking forward to the lazy river because I know that if I can survive the swim, I can handle the bike and the run, especially the run. I just need to get past that damn swim. So that's the goal. I want to be an Ironman. I'm about a year and a half out. Today is Sunday, May 25th, 2025. I figured I'd just kind of get this all out there and record this journey, because this really is my life's journey here. This is something very important to me, to prove that I really can do anything, whatever life throws at me. So these next 6 months or so, I'm building towards my third marathon, but these last 2 years have been hard on me. I've put a lot of weight back on. I haven't been working out. I've been dealing with a lot of stress. So I'm probably in the worst shape that I've been since COVID. But these last 2 months have been insane for me. I've lost about 20 pounds in 2 months, which a lot of people recommend only lose 1 pound a week. I've lost about 20 in 8 weeks. So that, I'm probably going a bit too hard there. But I'm making sure that I'm not starving myself. I'm taking rest days. I am in the gym 6 days a week, which is a bit concerning. But I'm alternating muscle groups so that even though I'm still working out every day, I'm working out different muscles. I'm really struggling to get pull time in. There's only 3 lanes, and lately the pull's been popular. So I'm thinking about doing some extreme things. Waking up at 4 in the morning every day so that I can get there when the gym opens at 5 a.m. to guarantee myself a lane. And I've been kind of developing RLS symptoms again. Restless leg syndrome. I'll go to sleep around midnight and just wake up around 2 in the morning, completely restless. I have to get up and move. I'll listen to my music and pace back and forth for a while. And my legs are just so restless. And I know it's a symptom of stepping up my running a bit too much too quickly. So I'm watching it. It's something on my mind. So right now, I'm in the process of finishing up a Couch to 5K program, which I am essentially bridging into a Couch to Marathon program, into a Couch to Ironman. So this next year and a half is going to be a wild ride. I think I'm on the way though. I'm doing the right things. I'm making progress. I'm just trying not to push myself too hard. I have a really bad habit of burying myself in busy work when I get stressed out or confused or don't know what to do. And that's generally in the form of my fitness. And I have suffered pretty much every overuse injury you can think up. I feel good for now, but I am kind of pushing that line. So yeah, this is this is me. This is what I'm up to. It looks like the falls are kind of not so great today. This is a pretty typical rest day for me. I don't generally take full rest. I'm still out here getting steps in. So what's coming up for me? I recently started getting back into the pool. I found an open time slot on Saturdays that I can reliably hit. So I know for a fact that I could swim every Saturday and always get that in. I'm trying to keep my running to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I need 3 days a week with some rest in between. And that seems to work with me and gives me the weekend off to relax. And then on either Tuesday or Tuesday or Thursday, I'm trying to take my bike out on the trails. Now we're kind of screwed out here in Pittsburgh. There's not really any paved bike trails nearby. There's a lot of gravel trails, a lot of dirt and mud. It's really hard to ride a road bike out here, let alone a triathlon bike. So I have a really cheap, essentially Walmart quality gravel bike that I've been riding through the mud with. It's not great for training for speed, but it is getting me real world riding experience, time in the saddle, and I'm out there. Now I do have an active Zwift subscription that I just renewed, so I am going to be working on the bike indoors, but you really need outdoor real life experience on the bike to master it. Sure, you could train the muscles indoor, but there's a lot that you need the actual on the road experience to learn. So I'm making sure that I don't dedicate all my time to indoor training. So that's it. Despite training for a marathon, I am actively swimming and biking to prepare myself for next year. I am successfully losing weight again. I plateaued a bit, right around the 200-pound mark, but that's okay. I'm down about 20 pounds in 8 weeks, so it's okay to slow down a bit. I have my foot on the gas a bit too hard. I want to make sure I do this right way, keep it healthy, don't starve myself, don't push too hard. But at the same time, it's okay to push. I have a lot more grit than I give myself credit for. So if you're interested at all and follow me along in this journey from couch to Ironman, you can follow me on this channel. I'll be providing weekly updates along with meaningful events along the way. I wish you well and stay legendary.